Cobrapost investigation has further unearthed dodgy foreign currency transactions some of the ADA Group companies have been found indulging in since 2006. These transactions potentially classify as money laundering under the Prevention of Money Laundering Act. Some of these transactions also involve violation of FEMA. These transactions resulted in diversion of around US $1,535 million to India. The value of these funds at present works out to around 13,047 crore rupees at an average exchange rate of 85 rupees against US dollar. The value of the US dollar at that time was around 40 rupees. This was accomplished through offshore companies using an elaborate schematic. In the course of this investigation, Cobrapost found the trail of one massive transaction. This involves US $750, which was received in loan from a mysterious benefactor who disappeared as mysteriously as did the borrowers. The money bounced around to finally land in an ADA Group promoter company. This reeks of money laundering and tax evasion. This how the whole transaction was done. Curiously, one Mr. NG Darsian set up Reliance Projects Pte. Limited in Singapore on 26 July 2006, which led to a dispute after which it was placed with Reliance Innoventure in a custody arrangement. Reliance Projects Pte. Limited was rechristened Emerging Market Investments and Trading Pte. EMITS, and its ownership was transferred to Reliance Innoventure Private Limited to be transferred to Emerging Market Investment and Trading Unlimited (EMITU), a BVI-based company. In December 2007, NEXGen Capital advanced a tidy sum of US $750 million to EMITS. This loan was supposedly meant for the Dadri power plant, which never came to fruition. The entire fund was invested in compulsory convertible preference shares of A & Sons Enterprises Pvt. Limited, a other group entity, on 17 December 2007. The funds were downstreamed the same day to A Facilities Solutions Private Limited, only to be further downstreamed to 4 more entities. These 4 companies were later on merged with Reliance Innoventure, the holding company of the ADA Group, in 2008-09 and 2009-10 to cover the tracks. This way, EMITS, which received US $750 million from the mysterious benefactor, and the subsidiaries through which the funds were moved to Reliance Innoventure were made to disappear. After summing up the modus operandi using which US $750 million was diverted to India, let us discuss in some detail how all the events were orchestrated. 2 weeks after the Reliance ADA Group came into being on 10th July 2006, one Mr. NG Darsian registered a company called Reliance Projects Private Limited in Singapore with a capital of US $1. According to the sources and available records, the ADA Group reached out to this company telling them they could not use the name Reliance. Following negotiations, Sian agreed to hand over the custody of shares and control of this Singaporean entity to Reliance Innoventure, the holding company of the Anil Ambani-led ADA Group. It was a temporary arrangement till Sian could change the name of the Singaporean entity, Reliance Projects Private Limited. It was done on 22nd November 2007 by changing its name to Emerging Market Investments and Trading, or EMITS in short. The custody arrangement should have ended there. Instead, a month later, a company called NEXGen Capital gave a US $750 million loan to EMITS. This was done against Sian's advice, forbidding any activity and transactions whatsoever in EMITS. EMITS passed US $750 million to another ADA Group company called A & Sons Enterprises Private Limited through investments in 29,509,275 compulsory convertible preference shares at a premium of 999 rupees each on 17 December 2007. This aggregated to 2,951 crore rupees at the then prevailing exchange rate of 39 rupees and 31 paise per US dollar. A & Sons Enterprises Private Limited routed the funds as investments into 4 subsidiaries of other group promoter entity, Reliance Innoventure. This was done on the same day A & Sons Enterprises received the funds, and the names of the recipient entities are A Communication Private Limited, A Enterprises Private Limited, AA Power Systems Global Limited, AA Project Ventures Private Limited. These 4 companies, along with the US $750 million from the mysterious NEXGen Capital, were merged into Reliance InnoVentures between 2008 to 9 and FY 2009 to 10. This is how the entire borrowed fund worth US $750 million was made to disappear. So were the entities through which the money landed in Reliance InnoVenture. The saga of subterfuge didn't end there. On 1st June 2009, a company called Pollack Securities Corp advised Reliance InnoVenture to transfer the shares of EMITS to another entity called Emerging Market Investment and Trading Unlimited (EMITU). This company was registered in the British Virgin Islands, a tax haven. Interestingly, EMITU was initially incorporated on 20th May 2009 as Propus Investments Unlimited, and the name change to EMITU was effected from 27th July 2009. This is how layers were created in the cross-border corporate way. In a nutshell, here we have an abnormal case where both the remitter of the foreign currency fund and the ADA group companies where the money landed have vanished. Only the ultimate beneficiary exists. These transactions are in contravention of the following. FEMA. No prior approval was taken for receiving offshore funds as FDI in an investment company. PMLA. Both the lender and the borrower are non-existent, though the money has found beneficiaries. RBI's NBFC guidelines on core functions of investment company violated by the ADA group companies. However, here again no action was taken against the ADA group companies for potential money laundering activity by law enforcement agencies including Enforcement Directorate. You are watching Cobrapost Expose on ADA Group. For more details, please log into cobrapost.com. This video was automatically generated by an artificial intelligence system using Hagen and may contain inadvertent errors and inconsistencies despite our best efforts at accuracy and quality. We recommend that you peruse and verify the information in this video with the corresponding published story on cobrapost.com.